It was a rainy morning when Ayaan met Mira for the first time. She was sitting alone at the bus stop, drenched but smiling at the clouds as if they were her friends. Ayaan offered her his umbrella, and she refused, saying, "Some rains are meant to be felt, not avoided." That sentence stayed with him. That smile became his sunrise. From that day on, Ayaan and Mira's paths crossed again and again in the library, in the cafe near the old clock tower, and once, even in the hospital where Ayaan worked as an intern doctor. It felt like fate was slowly writing their story. They fell in love in the simplest ways: long walks, shared music, and endless late-night talks. Mira loved stars. Ayaan loved watching her eyes shine brighter than them. One night, while watching fireworks, Ayaan whispered, "No matter where life takes us, promise me you'll never stop smiling like this." Mira looked up and said, "Only if you promise to keep finding me in every lifetime." They sealed that promise with a pinky touch, the most innocent kind of forever. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. Mira began to disappear, sometimes canceling plans, turning pale, hiding pain behind her laughter. Ayaan noticed, but she always said, "I'm fine," until one day he found her medical file on the hospital counter. Stage IV cancer. His hands trembled. His heart broke silently. She had known all along, but never told him. She didn't want his love to turn into pity. Ayaan stayed by her side through every treatment, every sleepless night, every tear. He never told her he knew, he just loved her harder. He read her stories, sang her favorite songs, and watched the stars with her through the hospital window. One evening she held his hand and said softly, "If someday you can't find me, look for the girl smiling behind the clouds." That was the last night she stayed awake. Months later, Ayaan received a parcel with no name, just his address. Inside was a letter in Mira's handwriting. "Ayaan, if you're reading this, I'm watching you from my favorite star. I never wanted you to see me fade. I wanted you to remember me alive, laughing and in love. Promise me one thing, Liv. Love again. Smile for me. Always yours, Mira." Tears blurred the ink as he folded the letter close to his heart. He whispered to the sky, "I'll find you in the next life, Mira." And that night, for the first time since she left, he smiled.
The days after Myra's death felt endless. The city still moved, the sun still rose, but Ayaan felt frozen in time. He kept her things untouched: her favorite mug, her half-read book, even the umbrella from the day they met. Sometimes he'd whisper into the empty room, "You forgot to take my heart with you, Myra." He stopped talking to people. He only spoke to her in letters he never sent. One morning, after months, Ayaan forced himself to visit their old cafe. At their corner table sat a girl sketching, a portrait of a woman smiling. Under the rain, he stared. It was Myra. The girl noticed and smiled softly. "You knew her too, didn't you?" Her name was Ayaan, an art student who met Myra in the hospital. Myra had once told her, "If someday you see a boy with sad eyes and a doctor's hands, tell him I said, it's okay to breathe again." Ayaan couldn't hold back his tears. It was as if Myra was still finding ways to reach him. With Elena's encouragement, Ayaan started volunteering at the cancer ward, the same place where Myra had stayed. He began writing letters for patients who were too weak to write their own. Each one ended with Myra's line, "Some rains are meant to be felt, not avoided." The letters healed him more than he expected. For the first time, he smiled without guilt. Months later, the town held its annual Festival of Lights, where people wrote wishes and tied them to lanterns. Ayaan wrote one too. "To the girl behind the clouds, thank you for teaching me love. I'm learning to live again like you wanted." When his lantern rose into the sky, a gentle rain began to fall, the same soft drizzle from the day they met. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I felt that, Myra." Years passed. Ayaan became a writer known for letters that healed broken hearts. His first book was dedicated to the girl who taught me that love never dies, it just changes form. On the book's last page, he included one final letter, the one he never sent. "Myra, you're not gone. You're every heartbeat that reminds me to love. You're in every drop of rain, every smile I give to the world. You said some rains are meant to be felt. I finally understand. Forever yours, Ayaan. He sealed a letter and placed it under a tree that bloomed white every spring, their favorite kind of flower. As the wind carried the petals, he smiled toward the sky. Because love never really ends. It just finds a new way to exist.